In terms of how do I know, or how do I decide what I want to move on or keep? So you could move this onto stage 2. The thing is, it won't take a great polish. And I also prefer my tumbled stones to be very smooth and very rounded. That's a personal choice. Some people prefer the stone to have more character, so to speak, or, you know, just kind of more of the crushed rock look, just polished. All these little imperfections in here won't be polished inside. So the parts of the stone that can touch another stone will polish, but the parts that, you know, nothing's going to be able to really reach in there consistently. So the insides of all those little pockets and crevices, that's not going to take a polish at all. And you can kind of end up with like a goofy looking rock. So if you move those on, those imperfections are going to be highlighted in the polished stone. They're going to be super noticeable after you polish it. So I just prefer to shape them until these sorts of imperfections, these little divots here, those are all ground down. So for example, this stone will go back in because of this spot, and because of that spot. This stone looks pretty good. It feels pretty good, except right over here, let's see if I can catch it. There are little pits here. And again, this stone could move on. You know, if I hadn't caught that, I probably would have moved it on and it would have been fine. It won't bother most people, but since I am putting a lot of these back and I'm always running stage 1 no matter what, I'll just put it back in for another week because there's no harm in that. It's going to be frustrating if you move this on, even with an imperfection, and you think, oh, I'll be fine with it. Chances are you won't be fine with it. So I always just put it in for longer. You're going to not mind that one extra week or however long you put it in stage 1 in the front end here. That imperfection, you know, this right here, this little crevice there, I want all that to work out, you know, right there. So these are dry, so you can kind of see a little bit better. I'm gonna try to work those out as well. You will run into stones where, you know, you can keep tumbling, like this quartz here. This is a fracture, so I could keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. That's not going to go away. So what I need to do then is just accept a certain degree of imperfection for the sake of keeping the size. Otherwise, I will just tumble this down essentially until this is gone. I could crack this off with a chisel. A lot of people will do that if they really like perfect stones. I don't quite know if I'll do that. I think I'll put it in one more round and just kind of see where we're at. An example of a done stone for me would be this one. There really aren't any pits or crevices or anything like that. It looks pretty smooth. It might not be perfect, but you know, there's that right there. But this I don't really mind. So I'll move this on to stage 2.